Diet plays a big part in the life of an elite athlete. It's already strict enough without adding a food sensitivity into the equation. And when it comes to living gluten-free for medical reasons while still performing at the top of your game, I have recruited the ultimate sous chef, Ariarne Titmus.
Oh, thanks for having me today, Luke. And yes, I've been medically diagnosed since 2017 living gluten-free, and it's challenging enough to try and live a normal lifestyle avoiding gluten, but as an elite athlete, it's pretty tricky. I feel quite sluggish, I get really bloated, really tired, and it's tough enough to feel like that in your everyday life, but then I'm trying to train every day and get the best out of myself as an athlete. I just don't want to feel like that.
Well, I hope you feel very welcome in the kitchen today because in your honour, I'm going to make my delicious gluten-free mixed berry brownies. Now, we're quite lucky when it comes to food and cooking these days in that we can still enjoy typical gluten staples, things like bread, pasta, pastries and cakes, because there's so many gluten-free options of those foods out there. But the problem is, Arnie, gluten sneaks into everyday unsuspecting food items, things you wouldn't ordinarily think about, like sauces, spice mixes, processed foods, even confectionery.
That's exactly right, and even things like medicines, you have to always check the label on those things, Hinesy. But luckily, cooking here with you today, we have complete control over what's going in the bowl and we can avoid gluten altogether. But there still is that little worry sometimes that you can potentially come in contact with gluten accidentally.
Like when you're eating out, a trip to the pub doesn't come with a second thought for most of us.
Yeah, it's really challenging when you're relying on other people to cook for you. In busy restaurants, always have that risk of cross-contamination. Even using the wrong chopping board, the wrong knife can have a massive knock-on effect for someone like me, and I can end up feeling quite unwell. You also just kind of hate being that person who has the food sensitivity and you're that person that's annoying and can't eat everything, and that can be a challenge at times as well.
And that's why you've partnered with GluteGuard.
Yeah, exactly. I want to help raise awareness for people that live with a gluten sensitivity and help people feel confident going out.
Also, GluteGuard is the only clinically proven product available that's demonstrated to help protect against the symptoms of accidental gluten ingestion. It's formulated with carrotene, a naturally derived enzyme from the papaya fruit, which has the unique ability to break down the harmful parts of gluten before they cause symptoms and interact with the intestinal lining.
And GluteGuard is developed right here in Australia after decades of scientific research and is also Aussie owned and manufactured.
I feel like there's only one thing left to say, Arnie. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi.
Look, maybe stick to the brownies, Luke.
All right, I'll stay in the kitchen, you stay in the pool.
Sounds good.